A 99% of dinosaurs feared this titan's defense. But this was the heavily armed defender of the late Cretaceous. Its very silhouette screams formidable, specialized protection. And now that we understand its dominance, let's analyze the armor. Its primary weapon system involved three distinct, massive horns. The two brow horns could exceed 1 meter in length. These were not just bone-tier, they were cased in thick keratin sheath. The base anchored deep into the skull, absorbing tremendous force. This configuration suggests powerful thrusting and locking maneuvers. But imagine an impact registering hundreds of kilograms of force. But defense required more than just pointed weapons. And enter the parietal squamosal frill, a massive bone shield. But this structure was surprisingly lightweight, featuring large cranial fenestrae. These voids reduced weight while maintaining structural integrity for defense. 1. The perimeter featured bony knobs, or epoccipitals, adding intimidation. Functionally, the frill protected the vulnerable neck musculature. It created a massive defensive target, diverting attacks away from the vital torso. But this hedger was optimized for adversarial encounters, likely territorial disputes. And now that we understand the head, let's inspect the torso armor. Its hide was not smooth, it was covered in dense, bony scutes. But these osteoderms provided passive protection against slashing or glancing blows. The back possessed the thickest plating, shielding the spine effectively. Its powerful forelimbs were essential for anchoring during defensive charges. This robust build enabled it to absorb massive kinetic energy. Compared to its contemporaries, the Triceratops was a living fortress. Fossil evidence confirms the immense durability of this cranial shield. Evidence of healed trauma shows repeated, successful defense against predators. The charge was the ultimate aggressive defense mechanism. Its body weight transformed into devastating kinetic energy at speed. The horns were aimed for the predator's flank or softer underbelly. But survival required more than just defenses. Sustenance was key. It was a specialized browser, consuming vast quantities of fibrous plants. But a complex gut was needed to process such low-quality, high-volume food. Defenses require energy. Energy comes from constant, relentless foraging. These herbivores often moved in herds, an added layer of collective defense. Juvenile Triceratops likely had smaller, less developed defensive weaponry. Maturity brought full armament, crucial for mating rights and defense. The eyes, positioned laterally, provided wide peripheral threat detection. Olfactory senses were critical for detecting danger before visual confirmation. The frill may have also served a role in thermoregulation. Vascularization near the surface could dissipate excess heat efficiently. Rest periods were brief, dictated by the constant pressure of predation. But even the skin accommodated massive underlying muscle mass and mobility. And when confronted, the Triceratops presented an immediate, impenetrable wall. The low center of gravity made lateral takedowns extremely difficult. The keratin sheaths required constant wear and repair, like modern ungulates. Powerful jaw muscles supported the shearing action of the beak. The group defense amplified the deterrence factor exponentially for predators. This cooperation ensured the survival of the herd across generations. The evolutionary pathway favored robust, heavily armored ceratopsids. But air intake was vital, supporting the massive metabolic needs of this herbivore. Movement studies suggest subtle adjustments optimized horn presentation rapidly. Weathering epic climate shifts required equal internal fortitude. The eye, protected by heavy brow ridges, maintained clear focus. The thick hide shed water effectively, preventing chilling of the massive core. Its sheer bulk was itself a deterrent, crushing smaller competitors aside. The horns, frill, and scutes formed an integrated, three-dimensional defense system. Predators often chose easier targets, minimizing risky engagements with these giants. Survival was not about aggression, but about making attack utterly unfeasible. The Triceratops remains the ultimate paradigm of Mesozoic defensive evolutionary success.